Are y'all going to touch on the timing?
Well,
The
you
drill?
know, nomenclature goes a long way with customers. When you know terms like that.
What in reference to the drill?
Just why that drill is so important in that it's very expensive. We did a job down in Baden Lake with a regular drill and it burned it up. So
Yeah.
that's why I was hoping you'd touch on that drill.
Speed of the drill is very important with self-levelers. You want that product to have a lot of torque and speed. Traditional drills are going to go to like 300 RPM. We want it above 600, so we want a fast drill. So if it's going to be a drill in a store, we want it to be a high quality, high speed drill. These products aren't very fluid. They're going to have some body to them. So you're going to burn up a drill if you're not using a quality drill. And that's one of the reasons we like this one. It's a high quality drill and it has 2 speeds. So it's very important for guys that are doing other products, because if you need a low speed for like mortars or some patches out there that require low speed, you can switch it to 1, and if you need high speed, switch it to 2. So it's one that can go to 2 different speeds. And then the mixing head that we show right there creates an obnoxious amount of torque. If you use that mixing head with a regular drill, one use drill, that drill is going to get burned out. And typically, like I said, you should be mixing 2 bags at a time. So if you're mixing 2 bags at a time, that torque just gets even higher. It's that much more work for the drill. So it's important. Now, what I did here is just poured out a little bit of it, and you can see how it's continuing to flow. That's the flow time. So if this were poured in a much larger area, or I've already poured more volume, that would continue to flow its way all the way out to the edge over the course of about 20 minutes, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. It'll just keep flowing and flowing and flowing. The heal time on this particular product is 40 minutes. So that gives you a lot of time to pour back into it. So it allows you to have the guy that's doing it on his own. He's pouring one area, raking it around. Now this is a rake, gauge rakes that come with the mixing kits that we have available. These little feet right here can be adjusted. I think it goes up to 2 inches deep. If you want to go thicker than that, you're probably going to need to get an extension. But this will allow you to use your depth to mark how thick you want it to go. This will not level the floor. This will flatten the floor. Same with these products. They're called self-leveling underlayments. I don't care what they say, they will not level a floor. They will flatten a floor. So if you do need to actually truly level the floor, if it's a ½ inch down here and a ¼ inch down over here, you need to do something to make sure that you're doing that. If you pull this gauge rake at a ½ inch thick or at a ¼ inch thick, it'll be ¼ inch everywhere. So we have little leveling pins that are in the back of our catalog. Some people use screws, they'll just or concrete nails, they'll bang them into the concrete. And so again, this would be a tool that you would use to gauge out how much you need. So all you do is you get it to the depth you want and just pull it. Now, this plastic is not working with us, like I said earlier, so I apologize. It's too thick for this fluid of a self-leveler. Nice and easy to work with, doesn't take a lot of effort. Typically, when we're doing these demos, it's in a much larger area, so it's a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. But all I'm trying to do is get a uniform depth across this floor. Now the plastic, you can see it's wrinkled up a little bit. So we were pouring this at 1/8 of an inch. If I poured this thicker, it might have hit that plastic. But this one in particular might not have. It's so fluid, it's going to kind of stay on the other side of the ridges of that plastic because of how fluid this is. So you're never going to be pouring on top of plastic. So you're never going to run in this environment unless you're doing a demo in a hotel like we are right now. So this is not a normal scenario, but it's actually going to work out for me because it's going to create a ridge in the middle of this floor, which is going to actually enhance my ability to talk about the hardwood adhesives later, because coverage is the #1 thing that comes into play with hardwood adhesives, and we're going to have a difficult time getting 100% coverage on this patio right here because of the fact that the floor is probably not going to be perfectly flat because of that ridge in the middle. So it's actually going to be a beneficial thing that we'll talk about later.
Talk about this for a minute, why we're not using it right now.
So tools of the trade, we just talked about the gauge rake. The next tool that most guys are going to have is called a smoothing tool. Metal version, there's rubber versions, it's like a squeegee. All this is going to do is break the surface tension of that self-leveler. It's going to give you a nice smooth finish. This is used in almost every self-leveler on the market. This is one of the only ones on the market that doesn't require it. It's a self-smoothing self-leveler. So it cuts out a step as well. You don't need this because this is gonna, because of how fluid this will achieve a nice finish on its own. With this tool, we're gonna use it on all the other ones. I'll show you, all you're trying to do with this is just break the surface tension. And all that's doing is giving you a nice smooth finish. You can use this on SL200, but because of how fluid it is, you don't need to. And if you do use it on SL200, you want to be very careful. Because of how fluid it is, you will very easily pull this product out from where you want it to be. So it's we actually recommend you get the rubber version if you want to use it on SL200 because it'll be a lot less rigid, so it won't pull as much of the product. If you want to see it on this product, I'd be happy to show it to you, or you're going to see it on the other three. Save money on the job site by having a guy pouring this product in and having multiple guys hand troweling. Because it's self-smooths, it's
Does
fast.
everybody know what he's getting at? Why we say vinyl first with this product? Because with the,
Because of the transfer that you see.
Jason, explain that a little bit more.
Vinyl's thin, transfers unsmooth areas, will transfer through the product and see it through the surface.
I use the word telegraphic more than transferring. Yeah, anything that floor's on will come through. So easiest way to think about that is if someone has got an old hardwood vinyl down in their kitchen and they want to put a tile floor vinyl on top of that and they don't do any kind of patching on top of that existing hardwood vinyl, you will have a tile that looks like hardwood when it's all said and done. Because every one of those lines in that hardwood vinyl will telegraph through your tile, and you'll have tile that looks like it has little hardwood lines throughout it. So that's where patching comes into play. Typically, that type of job would get patched. This is for commercial jobs that they removed the old product or they're doing a new construction. That floor looks pretty flat, but it's not going to be flat enough for vinyl. My hotel room, I'm staying at the Hilton Garden Inn around the corner. They just put LVP in the entire the living room, kitchen area of the place, and it looks like a roller coaster because they didn't do anything to fix it, and it just shows. It looks horrible, because it was done within the year, probably within the month. It's that new, and it just looks horrendous. If they would have just spent $100 in material on every one of those jobs, they could have fixed that floor for an extra $100 in material. Come on, why wouldn't you do that? Because they don't know any better, and they're not thinking they're going to get paid for it. But if they went to the architect or the contractor or the GC and told them for an extra $100 I can fix this, all day long they're going to let them. Now they're all of a sudden making money. So
Town and Country and El Dorado, you put it